We have to replace all of the switch gear and what I will call electrical backbone in the university tower. This is a major undertaking because we will have very old 1950s vintage electrical gear that we have to install while we're still operating a hospital.
We've got essentially 3 million square feet here on campus. We're spread out across 25 to 30 buildings, roughly 50 acres or so that we cover geographically.
We're going to be replacing this gear in an active hospital, so the outages have to be well planned and pulled off without any interruptions to service.
You know, there's going to be outages that are going to be required to transfer systems from the old system to the new system. We have to try to arrange that in such a way where the patient laying on their table, laying on the bed, receives minimal impact from that.
And it's really a partnership, and we look at Rick and the team as an extension of our department.
But the hospital does feel such a close partnership with us that we're invited to meetings, to participate in meetings, to give advice and give input on meetings and topics that it's a great relationship we have, and the input we're able to give is beneficial to both.
We have an advocates group internally that has been established of employees that bring forth ideas related to energy usage and ways to reduce consumption, and we have had Miller then go out and actually look at some of the concepts that have been brought forward to see about feasibility, and one of those is the retrofit of the lighting in several of our tenant buildings.
Some of these buildings were built around the turn of the century. In the 1910s, I think, is the oldest one. And even some of the newer buildings that were built back in the 1950s and 60s, again, they were built to the standards of the time, but even today's technology and today's standards have changed that drastically. The infrastructure of these buildings has been upgraded through time, but it's never fully been upgraded to the point where it needs to be. So this project we're doing is going to do that. It's going to encompass all these buildings, and it's going to bring everything up to standards of where they should be now.
I think because we've got them here on site and we've made them part of our day-to-day operations, I think that they have shown that they've taken that ownership and really have our best interest in mind when they're moving about their daily business.
There's a tremendous amount of planning that goes into something like this, and you have to do your calculations on your return on investment. The hospital wants to know that if they purchase 8,000 of those fixtures, what's their cost versus the energy savings that they'll accomplish by installing those fixtures too. The typical figure, a safe figure, a 30% reduction in energy costs on lighting is common. And of course what comes along with that is reduced maintenance costs. Once you put a new fixture in, the maintenance on that fixture drops considerably because of the cost of the replacement parts for it, the lamps and the ballasts, and also the fact that it's going to last a lot longer than the old one did.
We can count on them. Their reliability is just been great.
In my 30 years, if another person would come up to me and say, would I recommend Miller Electric to another facility? Yes, definitely. You must look at Miller as a competitive, ethical electrical contractor that's out there to do your work.